Thanks everybody for joining. If you don't know me, my name is Grant Mobley. I am the trade lead here at the Diamond Producers Association, and it's my job to help the retail and the wholesale trade in our industry take advantage of a lot of the things that the Diamond Producers Association offers. And so today I'm going to run through just a couple of things about what the DPA has been up to in the last year in 2018, some of the things that we've done. And then also, more importantly, I'm going to talk about 2019 and some of the things that we're offering retailers in 2019, including our new campaign that is about to launch in a couple of weeks. That's super important. So I want to really share all that with everybody and give you a little bit of a rundown of everything. So I'm going to go through everything relatively quickly. There is an option for Q&A, at the top there of the webinar, there's a Q&A button. So you can type in questions that will come to me and I'll try to say those questions and answer those as we go. So I'll periodically check that if anybody has any questions. So before we get started, I wanted to play a little video. Now the video sometimes on these webinars is not perfect, so hopefully you have a really good internet connection. It'll work pretty well, but at least hopefully you'll be able to hear it very well. So I apologize in advance if you have any issues.
Isn't it wonderful? You see what I mean? How nothing bad could ever happen to you in a place like this. It isn't that I give a hoot about jewelry except diamonds, of course. Like that.
Just baby, I'm ready to show myself to you. I lose my patience. You must try to understand. I lose my patience. Oh yeah, 'cause you make me feel. Yes, you make me feel wild.
We say diamond is for everyone.
Come on, make your move. It's such fire in the sky. Get my fingers smile, smile, smile.
So I hope you liked that video. That's just a little fun thing that we made last year that retailers seem to really enjoy. And also, FYI, all the videos that I'm going to share today, plus a lot more, are completely available for people within the trade to use. So that video, for instance, has been shared by many people on their Facebook page or on their LinkedIn or Instagram teasers and things like that, because not only do people in our own trade love it, but also the consumers love to see it. It's just a really good kind of example about how, how important diamonds are to pop culture. So that video plus all of everything else I'm going to share and a lot more are available on the DPA's trade portal, which I can discuss more in detail shortly about how to access. So if you don't know exactly who the DPA is, we are an organization that represents the companies that you see here. We represent 8 different mining companies. And these companies represent about 80% of all the diamond mining business across the world. And Our organizations, our member companies got together a couple of years ago to really try to create a new category marketing company for the industry to help everybody in the industry. And we were the product of that. So we offer a lot of things that can help the industry. And that's kind of what I'm going to go over today. So our mission at the DPA is very simple. It's to protect and promote the reputation of natural diamonds. We want to create new and emotional narrative for the diamond industry. And we want to show the important role that natural diamonds have in our lives. And we do that with our target, which is the next generation of consumers, specifically the 80 million millennials that are living in the US. So the DPA primarily operates in the United States, although we do operate also in India and China. They are a little bit of a smaller market for us. Our main focus is the United States. So the 80 million millennials in the United States are really our target. And they are unlike other generations that came before them. They have a different relationship to diamonds, and we need to shift with them. And that's really what we try to do at the DPA. Now, I certainly don't have time to share all of our work with you today, but I do want to share one beloved piece of advertising from last year, just in case you haven't seen it yet. I'll share that in a second. But in 2018, which is what I'm talking about right now, we did invest $45 million into the United States in media and advertising and public relations and social media. And 2018 was our first full year of investment. And the good news is that we were renewed also this year for the same amount of investment. So we're going to be putting the same amount of money back into marketing diamonds this year as well. But I want to play this video, which was part of our campaign that was released last year.
There was a sound in the breeze, a song from the trees that whispered through the night. Just an ordinary place, but I held you just in case we travel to the end of time. And I know that I love you. I hear you singing in my mind.
All right. So that was just one of the videos from our campaign that launched last year. And that campaign in 2018 had over 1.2 billion paid media impressions, and it reached 98% of our target market. And the research shows that younger consumers want what our Real is Rare campaign captures, and that's authenticity, emotion, and storytelling. And so we found that this campaign has been super successful in delivering that to consumers. Now, we had a full suite of assets in 2018 that were released. We had 2 different films. We had a lot of print and out-of-home media, digital and social. And we developed an asset mix that could be used in a large variety of ways. Importantly, we leveraged tent poles with a variety of outlets throughout the year in order to drive impact and engagement and deliver the message in varied ways. Now, I don't have time to talk about all of the content that we made in 2018, but I do want to share some things just to give you an idea. So this is one video that we did with Town and Country magazine. We did this in December. This was the very first ever collaboration between 2 different publications, Town and Country magazine and also Oprah magazine. Both publications ran the print version of this story in the print publication, and then it was also on both websites and shared on social for both. So this was a hugely successful project for us.
Okay, let's talk about diamonds.
They are such a great way to mark so many different occasions. You can give them for a great birthday. You can give them for a promotion or buy a diamond just because. When you look down at that diamond, all those emotions come flooding back.
I love the idea of giving someone a piece of jewelry that ultimately is going to become an heirloom.
Yes, diamonds sparkle and hold their beauty for centuries. They are this natural, organic wonder.
Even before you go into the earth and mine diamonds, it took millions of years
Right.
to become something so gorgeous.
Right. And that it will last
And
millions
so one
of
of
years.
a kind. I mean,
Right.
each one
Right.
is special
Right.
and different.
When you realize that, you sort of wonder, why do I ever buy or give anything else?
Anything else, exactly.
So if you don't know who those people were, that was the editor-in-chief of Town and Country magazine and also the editor-in-chief of Oprah magazine. So that was a very successful partnership that we had in 2018. And when we look at partnerships throughout the year, we look at linking diamonds to the most talked about moments of the year. So some other things that we did throughout the year were the Olympics, which, believe it or not, happened a year ago, about to the week. So we made great custom TV spots for the Olympics this past year that were really everywhere at the time, all over NBC. We also did a huge activation with the royal wedding. We sponsored the Today Show live broadcast of the wedding. We did full buyouts of People Magazine's commemorative issues for the royal wedding. We did a lot around Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra's wedding recently, and also did a full buyout with Gwyneth Paltrow's website during her wedding, and also in her stores. If you don't know, those are called the Goop website and stores. So we like to really partner with these different organizations to create some really cool content throughout the year. But the great thing is that our content is available for people in the industry to use. Our social media content and videos like the one that I just showed are available for people to use. So we also use celebrity influencers to tell their own stories. Since in 2018, we used Tiffany Haddish, Lucy Hale, Kris Jenner, just to name three people that we worked with in 2018. And, we also use social media, obviously, is very important. And we feel that we can offer a lot of social media content for retailers, especially to use for their consumers. So in earned media, this is kind of an example. These are some of the outlets that we had stories in with earned media in 2018. The idea for us with earned media is that we want to keep people talking about diamonds. We want to keep people interested in diamonds. This is just a sampling of the kind of headlines that we drove. But with earned media last year, we drove 2.7 billion impressions across 1,100 different placements throughout the year, including more than 200 earned placements on social media. And some of our biggest successes were with the royal wedding and with celebrity engagements and other themes around love. And our goal really is to create newsworthy moments for natural diamonds and to keep diamonds in the social conversation. Now, our messaging around natural diamonds is pretty simple. I won't go through the entire thing, but you can see it here. Really it's to stress that diamonds are natural and from the earth. These treasures, these billion-year-old things. And we also like to stress that their value obviously increases over time as it's done. And the aspect of diamonds making the world a better place is a really important thing that we like to try to get across in all of our media. We also have messaging around lab-grown diamonds. So regardless of whether or not you sell lab-grown diamonds or if you're considering your decision, we can all agree on a couple of things. The natural diamond business should not be jeopardized by the synthetic diamond business. We have a responsibility to consumers to educate them on the differences. They are different products, they are detectable, they have different value, and they have different markets. Everything from showing that natural diamonds sustain 10 million people globally to showing that on average, contrary to some deceiving marketing, the carbon footprint of a 1 carat CBD diamond is 40% larger than a 1 carat natural diamond. So it's messages like these that we really want to get out there. Many messages we gear towards consumers, but we also find it's very important to educate the trade so that we're all speaking in the same message and not confusing consumers. That's something that I really can't stress enough. Now, trade support. So one of the areas that we've started focusing on in 2018 is sending out trade support materials in a very easy to use manner. So as I've said in the last few minutes, that the DPA offers a lot of things for retailers and for wholesalers and manufacturers in our industry to use, things that you can help you with your social media, things that can help you with creating content for your website, or if you need TV commercials that you run in your local markets, or print ads, or in-store materials, or training. These are all things that the DPA offers. So we want to make that as easy as possible. One way that we do that is our shareable content emails. And our shareable content emails go out every week or two. And it just has a few pieces of content in each email that are very easily shared. Sometimes that's our diamond facts. Sometimes it's videos, articles that we've written about diamonds and pop culture, but just things that are really, really great for people to share on their own channels. Those shareable content emails started going out in December of last year. Actually November, end of November. And so far, the usage of the content has been amazing. A lot of people, dozens and dozens of people are sharing that content on their own channels. And that's why we make this content. We make this content because it needs to be shared by people in our own industry so that your own consumers can really benefit from reading it and seeing it. So you can explore our whole library of shareable content by going to our trade portal, as I mentioned, and you can create an account if you haven't already. You will find campaign assets, research, social media posts, videos, shareable stories, and more. But probably most importantly, inside of our trade portal, you'll find our e-learning platform. Our e-learning platform we developed and launched last fall. It's really an incredible diamond sales training tool for sales associates. It has 3 modules about diamond facts and diamonds do good. And really, we've done a lot of research and figured out a lot of the things that consumers want to hear about diamonds. And that's kind of what is in this training program. So this is a completely free program that anybody can do. I encourage everybody to take part in it. And once we get to the end here, please, you can reach out to me directly if you need help getting onto our trade portal or anything like that, because it is 100% free. All the content is free. The training is free, everything. So that's the number one thing I want to focus in this talk. So that's kind of 2018. I told you I wanted to really breeze through 2018 because we did a lot and there's way too much for me to talk about. But I do want to talk about 2019 most importantly. So in 2019, one of the things we want to do, kind of priorities, is exactly what you see here. We're trying to make it as simple to understand as possible. And that's, we want to make our Real is Rare platform more explicit. Because we find that not all consumers really understand what real is rare means. So we're trying to simplify that meaning for consumers. And we also want to build in a call to action in order to marry retailers' short-term goals with the DPA's long-term goals. So that's kind of a really important. We want there to be a payoff that you can actually see at the retail level. Essentially, we want you to be selling more jewelry right now, not just building affinity to diamonds, which is our goal for something that's going to last decades. And I'll explain how we're going to do that. And also, we want to work more closely with the trade to continue to amplify all of our content that we're developing. And that's so we don't impact and translate our work into business. So everything that the DPA does for building affinity in diamonds for consumers works a lot better when the trade is amplifying it. We only have a set budget that we can, put paid media behind all the content that we're creating. But if we have 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 or 20,000 retailers across the country that are taking the content that we've developed and really pushing that content on their own channels, then it makes everything that we're doing go a lot further. And another thing that we're doing is we're going to focus a lot more on advocacy and letting consumers know about the good that diamonds do around the world. We found that that's very important. So for Amplify and Activate, we're going to have a significant increase in social and digital content throughout 2019. We're going to focus on driving towards some key messages like rarity and linking diamonds to nature. We're going to push even more on diamond education. And we're going to introduce a lot more motion graphics, videos, and infographics that you can also use. And then most importantly is our trade activation program, which I'll get into very shortly. And for advocacy, we're working on a few things. One is Project Assure, which you might have heard about. Project Assure, I'll talk about very briefly, is something that we've been working on for over a year with a third-party scientific company called, Lord, I can't think of the name, sorry. It's a third-party, UL, the name of the company is UL, and it's a company that specializes in testing electronics. We've in hiring this third-party company to test synthetic detection devices and essentially review them so that we can put out a detailed report on what are the best synthetic detection machines on the market so that you know what you should buy for your store or for your manufacturing facility or for your office or whatever the need may be. We want you to have the best. So that's one big thing. Now that study for Project Assure is going to be released in about 3 weeks. So we're really excited about that. Another thing we're doing is a study that this has been over a year in the making. It's called True Cost, which is another third-party company. This is a socioeconomic and environmental impact study on the diamond industry specifically. This is more than a year-long study that will be used to help the entire industry and to show the public the facts and the realities of the modern diamond mining industry. So this is a really, really cool study. It really shows the exact impact that diamond mining has on people and on the earth and on so many different factors. So those things can be very much quantified and done so by a third-party company. So this is a study that's going to come out in the next couple of months. We're really excited about. And lastly, we're working with an organization called EMA, which is the Environmental Media Association. And through EMA, we are doing celebrity partnerships, which is kind of their specialty. And we're taking celebrities and people in the media to mine trips around the world. So we're taking them to Botswana, we're taking them to Australia and to Canada and South Africa and these different places around the world that mining diamonds impacts. And they impact all these places positively. And so in working with this organization, Emma, and these celebrities and media, we're really going to drum up a lot of attention about the good that diamonds do around the world, because we're going to show them firsthand the good that diamonds do. And so that's going to be a really important thing for next year. So our strategy for 2019 is impact versus maximum impressions. We have a broader target for our self-purchase campaign with a call to action and a trade activation program, which I'm going to get into in a second. So along with our self-purchase campaign, we currently have in production another campaign that we call the Manifesto. This campaign, the Manifesto, is something that will add clarity to Real is Rare by linking the unique emotional and symbolic value of diamonds to the miracle of nature, the miracle of their natural origin. And so that campaign, the Manifesto campaign, is coming out later in the year. And so this is going to give you an example of our media plan throughout 2019. And so as you can see here at the bottom, we have it says "For Me Self-Purchase." So that's the campaign that I'm about to talk about in detail. And there's going to be a big burst at the end of this month in February, where that campaign is actually launching at the Academy Awards at the end of the month. But the bulk of the media weight is going to be in the summer and the fall. Our Together campaign, which is our love-based campaign, is going to be running throughout the entire year. And then the Manifesto campaign that I just talked about is what's also going to be running in the summer to the fall, which is in production at the moment. And you can see up here that our digital investment is the majority of what we do. So 44% of the investment that we put in is digital, while TV is 23% and out of home and is 21%, with print being 12. So that's kind of how we break up our media. All right, so this is what the main thing I wanted to talk about, which is our retail activation program for the new campaign, and how more importantly how you can take advantage at the retail level. This could be the biggest help to retailers that the DPA has done so far. It'll help you see an immediate effect in increased sales, while we also support DPA's long-term goals of helping Diamond stay relevant. So here's a quick video montage from our focus groups last year and how kind of how we decided to make a campaign focused on self-purchase.
Diamonds are classic, powerful, strong, and beautiful, just like you.
Wearing it makes us feel very confident and polished and put together.
It's a form of loving yourself.
To me, it's a beautiful piece of artwork.
So we work really hard and we deserve nice things. We really want to pamper ourselves.
Because it's like more of a sense of pride if you buy it for yourself. It's a gift that you're gonna love it, but it's not, you can't be as proud of it. And sometimes loving yourself means like I hope to have kids one day, and like the thought is all my jewelry will go to my kids.
It could be something that I pass down to my daughter or something to that effect.
Let me put in my superhero like woman earrings because I am woman hear me roar.
I feel like if I'm a happy mommy, then everybody's happy in my house. So mommy needs a diamond once in a while.
I'm gonna buy all jewelry all the time to make myself happy. Yeah.
Without having to hold anybody an explanation. I'm in control.
You know, it's an investment. It's a lifetime investment.
Just feel that confidence, and I stand up a little straighter, and like, you know, I'm doing things that I want to do for myself.
A diamond is gonna last. I'm not gonna throw it on the floor. I'm not gonna, throw it in a drawer. It's gonna be on me.
I'm a very big giver and I do a lot like in the community and I like to help people. And sometimes I've been through periods where I didn't consider myself enough. So I really like to invest in myself and pour into myself to remind myself that, I'm someone, I'm working hard and I deserve something as well. But there's a sense of like happiness that I get from putting something into myself.
All right, I hope you guys liked that. Those are just behind the scenes videos from our focus groups and just a little montage about some of the stuff that we heard throughout 2018. There's a lot of that video. So I want to talk about self-purchase and really what is the opportunity of self-purchase. So the US market grew about 4% last year. Most of that growth came from self-purchase. It is the growth engine for the industry. While bridal and other categories seem to stay relatively stable, self-purchase is the only thing that's growing. So 1/3 of all diamond jewelry in the US was bought by women as gift to themselves. And that was according to a recent study that was just done in 2017. So we know that number is also getting larger. And among jewelers, 7 out of 10 people noted that the number of women buying jewelry for themselves had increased in the last 2 years. And the share of the value of self-purchase pieces has also increased. So the average price paid for a self-purchase item is now on par with that of a gift, which is the first time this has happened. So we must capture our fair share of women spending money for themselves. Focusing only on the bridal segment means that you will miss the opportunity. The idea is that once you catch them, ensure that you don't release them. So once you get them as a customer, you want to keep them and, stop focusing on the traditional holidays and occasions. The beautiful part about self-purchase is, price points are in the $500 to $2,000 range, as you can see, with the median being $1,300, which again is on par with diamond gifts. And also these styles that are selling for self-purchase are design-driven styles with higher margins. So really, it's kind of an everybody wins. Now, why self-purchase? The time is right, frankly. It's a cultural imperative. Women are being told that they can be who they want to be and to step up. And we as an industry must align to stay relevant. The communication is very simple. We must make it normal and mainstream and empowering for women to buy diamonds for themselves. We must remove the barrier to thinking that women can't buy diamonds for themselves. So retailers play a critical role. We have to train sales teams to sell to women. We have to put aside merchandise to match this opportunity, and we have to start thinking of women as the primary consumer. So now, all of that being said, this is kind of the data that we collected all through 2018 and how we designed this campaign. So the campaign objectives are: we want to make buying and wearing your own diamond feel relevant and desirable. And we want to lift the barriers that are there to keep that from happening. You know, the barriers include thinking of diamonds as only a gift, or they're only for special occasions. And the barrier for the trade is that they focus mainly on holiday and bridal. So in the creative that I'm about to show you, those are our objectives and then the barriers that we hope to lift with this creative. And so I want to show you the first piece right now.
For me, from me. For me, from me. For me, from me. For me, from me. Real is rare. Real is a diamond.
So I hope you liked that. That's one of the spots. I'm going to play a couple more of the shorter ones. That was a 30-second. As you've guessed, the name of the campaign is For Me, From Me.
For me, from me. Real is rare. Real is a diamond.
That was one of the 15 seconds, and here's another.
For me, from me. Real is rare. Real is a diamond.
All right, I hope you liked that. So what you're seeing here, the idea is that obviously these pieces of creative will show women how good it feels to wear something that you bought for yourself. That's the idea. And I'll talk about in a minute how our testing has really shown that it's doing its job so far. So you can see here, these are some of the examples of the print creative that's going to be running also nationally. So all those commercials that you saw will be running on national campaigns on NBC and ABC and Hulu and Bravo and E and multiple different outlets for TV, and those are all national buys. They're not regional, so everything will be all over the country. The same goes for our print. This print will be running in magazines, national magazines all over, including People and Entertainment and Town and Country and Oprah magazine. And so you can see these we call our portrait shots. Now, For Me, From Me, the line is trademarked, and it's designed as a rallying cry for diamond self-purchase for all of us to use. This is not just a campaign that DPA is creating to market diamonds. This is a campaign that DPA is creating for retailers to also market diamonds. We want retailers and wholesalers and manufacturers to utilize For Me, From Me as a way to show their self-purchase category. And one of the ways that we're doing that is that we're offering a license of the For Me, From Me line and the For Me, From Me logo, which you see here. It's a completely free licensing agreement. And we're licensing the line because we want you to be able to use it and use your own creative. So you're not stuck to only using the creative that we've developed, but you can also use For Me, From Me, and the hashtag For Me, From Me as well on social media. You can do all this on your own and utilize your own creative. And all you have to do is do the free licensing agreement that we're offering, which is a huge thing. And like I said earlier, we've done a lot of creative testing as soon as the creative was finished in the later part of this year of 2018. And these are just some of the quotes that women gave us when they saw the campaign. And this is hundreds of women that were surveyed from a variety of age groups from 25 to 60 across all kinds of ethnic and geographic backgrounds. And you can read these here, but the long and short of it is that it was very, very positive in creating, this kind of feeling of positivity around buying diamonds for yourself. Women loved seeing ads for jewelry that were geared toward them. They told us that it felt refreshing to see an ad for jewelry that was about something other than a man buying something for a woman. So we really feel like we've done something kind of amazing here for women. The response has been completely overwhelming so far. And we're really excited because we're launching the campaign at the Oscars, as I said before, and we're really excited to see what kind of response we get from consumers at that time. This is an example of the media mix. So this is how, for this campaign specifically, how it's going to look throughout the year. Again, it's very similar to what I showed you earlier, where our main focus is 46% on digital. So if you are a woman between the ages of 35 and 55, which is the main target for the For Me, From Me campaign, you will almost definitely see this on digital. And there's a good chance that you'll see it on TV and print as well as out of home. And these are just some of the publications that we're partnering with so far in pushing this out there. So as I said, that this is going to launch during the Oscars, and I wanted to give you an example of something kind of innovative that we're doing in partnership with the Oscars this year. It's something called Picture in Picture, which I'm sure you've seen. And this is kind of a way for us to show our creative, the new creative, in a different way. This is an example of how it'll look.
For me, from me, real is rare. Real is a diamond.
So yeah, it's a pretty cool way to kind of show the creative to keep people engaged. So also, just as with our other campaigns, we're offering a lot of different social media assets around For Me, From Me. And we're also partnering with a lot of celebrities on them sharing their stories about buying diamonds for themselves. One of those examples is Mary J. Blige that we've already done. And there's going to be a lot more of those to come throughout the year. And those are going to be social things that you can share on your own channels as well. So I wanted to talk a little bit more in detail about the in-store activation. So this is the very first campaign that the DPA has done. Again, we've really only had our first full year of investment in 2018. But this is the first campaign that DPA has done where we want to focus on an in-store activation. Now, as I said, this campaign is not just for the DPA. This is a campaign for everybody in our industry. We're wanting For Me, From Me to be a way that you can capture new customers and not only capture new customers, but have a woman that walks in the store that maybe she never thought about buying diamonds for herself for whatever reason. But then in talking with your salespeople, because they've been trained in a specific way, or in seeing this creative in your store or on, a TV commercial that you ran or in print, at least it starts to get them thinking about diamonds as something they can buy for themselves. And that's the idea, is that women are already spending so much money on luxury items for themselves in the $1,200 to $2,000 range. and that's for shoes, and that's for handbags, and things like this. So it's, you know, for whatever reason, historically, diamonds have been linked to gifting, and so we're just trying to expand on that and really take our share of the luxury self-purchase, which is, we know, is already growing, and it's really the time is right to do so. So for that in-store activation, I already told you we are giving access to the For Me From Me logo licensing, which is something that I'm happy to talk about with anybody after this. And we developed an online portal that's going to be launching in a couple of weeks, where you'll be able to order customized assets. So all of the assets that you've seen, plus a lot more, you'll be able to order them customized. So counter cards and Duratrans for your store, and the TV commercials and social media assets, you'll be able to pull these directly from this new portal that we're creating. You'll be able to customize them with your store logo and information. And these are going to be free assets. So all this stuff is printed for free. You know, there's very, very little thing that you would have to, very little that you would ever have to pay for. And that's only if you're ordering hundreds and hundreds of certain things. So we're also offering visual merchandising support behind this to really show how to create For Me From Me sections in your store. We're offering styling tips. We're offering event information on how to plan self-purchase styling events in your store. And all of this stuff we're offering completely for free. And one of the things that gets people very excited as well is we're offering free in-store sales training. So if you're familiar with Performance Concepts or Kate Peterson, her team is actually doing trainings for us. Some trainings via webinar, but a lot of trainings also in store directly with salespeople. And basically that training is to get your salespeople to start thinking about self-purchase as an important category, and show them really how to sell to women and keep women as the customers. And also, very excitingly, we're offering incentives for participating retailers. So those incentives are going to be quarterly. So all retailers that have active participation in the campaign, they're going to be incentivized quarterly with gifts to treat their staff. But I think something that's really, really fun is that we're offering a trip to a diamond mine. We're not sure yet if it's going to be in Botswana or Australia, but it will be a diamond mine abroad, and we're offering a free trip for 2 people. So every store that participates in activating For Me and utilizing For Me assets and things in store is going to be entered into that grand prize of a mine trip for 2 people in your store, which is really, really exciting. And the more details are going to come later. So as I said, we do have some partners that are working with us on this, and that is Performance Concepts is our training team. And then we're also working with Fruckman, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, and they're helping with our asset distribution because there's you know, a lot of customization and things here. So, and this is kind of a timeline I wanted to talk about a little bit when I am wrapping up. So, basically, you know, we're in an enrollment period right now where we're trying to get retailers to sign on to become part of this For Me From Me campaign. And we want you to essentially assign a DPA ambassador in your store, and think of it as a brand ambassador for any brand that you would carry. And this DPA ambassador is going to be, it's going to be a main point of contact for the DPA in communicating new things that the DPA offers. This point of contact is also going to be, you know, they're going to get exclusive previews of any future DPA campaigns. We are also going to prioritize our out-of-home media for people that are participating in campaigns. So, for instance, if you're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you're, you know, doing a lot with the For Me From Me campaign, we could potentially, you know, do out-of-home media, put money in out-of-home media in a shopping destination in Cleveland, Ohio, for instance. So we're working in different ways like that. But there's a lot of things, you know, and again, everything is completely for free. What we're asking of the retailers is that we ask the sales associates in your store to complete our e-learning training, which is on our portal. And again, after this webinar, I can walk anybody through that needs it. We're asking the retailers also to utilize these in-store assets. So counter cards or Duratrans or in-case cards that we're offering for free. And we're also asking the retailer to activate For Me From Me on social and digital. So utilize hashtag For Me From Me and really push self-purchase through the lens of For Me From Me. And in return, you know, what we're providing, what the DPA is providing are these customized assets at no cost for you. And we're providing customized TV commercials. We're investing national advertising dollars across TV, social, digital, out of home. We're providing the in-store training for free. We're doing the free licensing for the For Me From Me line, if that's something you're interested in. Yeah, so it's you know, we're really trying to get retailers on board with amplifying a lot of what the DPA does, and this is kind of the first time we've started to focus on this. So we're really excited. We just launched this a little over a week ago at the Centurion Show, and we've already had 100 retailers sign up to be DPA ambassadors. And, you know, we're looking for as many retailers as possible that can kind of utilize all these assets and amplify it. So I'm happy to talk with anybody after this webinar. And I do have a question here. One of the questions was, how do we enroll? So the answer to that question is very easy. The easiest thing, let me type the answer here. The easiest thing is to email me. I'm going to put my email in here directly. I just sent my email in there if you want to look at it. That email is Grant, G-R-A-N-T, at diamondproducers.com. And so you can email me directly, and we can talk a little bit more about it. It's very, very simple. Again, the campaign is launching at the Oscars, which is just in a couple of weeks, and all of the customizable assets are going to be available right after that launch. And we're also in the process right now of scheduling those free in-store sales trainings and things like that. So really the first step for anybody that wants to go ahead and get on board is to get your sales associate started with our e-learning platform. And so in order to do that, you just need to go to our website, which is diamondproducers.com, and sign up with the trade portal. And again, I can give details to anybody who wants details on how to do that. But that's really all I've got. There's also the other email. You can email that, and I can also see that email. So feel free to send that if it's easier. But that's really all I've got on my end. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that the videos came through pretty clear, because they are some pretty awesome videos. I'm happy to email anybody links to the videos if that makes it easier, if you weren't able to see it very well. So please just let me know. Otherwise, that's all I've got. Please email me, and I'll get your sales associate started with the online training, and we'll get you signed up for the in-store training and all these free customizable assets. So thanks so much, and hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Take care.